Are you book lovers, or do you do the iPad thing now?
I am a bit addicted to the iPad, but not for books. I don't read books on iPads. I just love to turn the pages and smell the book when it's new. And so when you just got it, the smell is good. So I like to read, but I also like, obviously, playing on my iPad, making videos and everything, but I think books are really important.
I think when they get the weave of paper and maybe the smell of a book into an app, maybe I might read it on an iPad or a Kindle, but it's the phosphorescent background is just, I don't associate that in my generation with a pleasurable reading experience. I do with other stuff, you know what I mean? Going online or emails or everything. What? Stop that.
I'm noticing the chemistry is working already. How did the three of you develop that family chemistry? Was it an off-camera thing that you sort of went out to dinners and that sort of thing? Or?
Geoffrey and I had worked together before, and we'd kind of had a blast together. And last time he was being Peter Sellers, so it was kind of a bit of a laugh a minute. And so I knew that he wouldn't mind if I was really mean to him. A lot. You didn't mind, did you, Geoffrey?
No, not at all. I loved it. We had about 2 weeks of rehearsal, but there's only so much you can rehearse.
We actually had a week, but as a...
Was it only a week? Was it really?
No,
It felt like 2 weeks, so with you?
No.
But look, we were lucky. All the scenes we started out with were in the kitchen, and it was a great starting point. A happy accident from the first AD's scheduling, because we got to find the hub of the cocoon of being in the warmest room in the house, the meeting place, what it was like for us before we had a foster child, where you sit at the table, what side of the bed do you sleep on. Brian really wanted all these accurate little details of family dynamics. What's it like when she arrived? And then, you know, by the end we were shooting Max's arrival. So we had a nice jigsaw laid out as the spine of the story. So it sort of happened. I think I got to know Sophie and Liesl at the same rate, you know, looking after a young girl, vulnerable young girl on the set, knows nothing. No, she knew a lot. I knew she could act because I'd seen Monsieur Lazare. But I figured that she might be like Emily and me, nervous underneath it all. You often are on a production. So, you know, there was a nice parallel between meeting her as a Huberman and as a Memminger and as a Nélisse.
So, Sophie, you'll introduce probably a new generation to a very important part of history. Did you learn a lot about? Did you know a lot about this before?
Didn't know a lot about it at all, and I just had to watch a lot of movies like Schindler's List, or The Pianist, or some more, and it was just so important shooting in Berlin because I could just go around the city and see all these little sometimes posters saying, well, this happened here and this happened there, and you know, some bomb shelters or things on history. That was really interesting, and that's a reason why I wanted to make the movie, so that my friends would go and see the movie and learn a bit more, because I think our generation doesn't know enough on this huge part of history, and if they go see the movie, maybe they'll talk a bit to their friends, and then it'll help for the next generations coming, how that in 40 years people still know what happened.
Some really interesting and important stories out there this year, I think, and they all should be taken in their own right. And to me, if we can educate a generation of teenagers, then we're winning. I think that's we can do that. That's really a great thing for this film. I think it could be a very powerful tool